Hello, this is Eldred Wolfsbane, unofficial wizard of the OSR. Hello, how's things going? Let's talk about Wizards of the Coast Toy Failure. Well, if you go to the stores, you will see that there are tons of Hasbro toys, including the D&D movie toys, things of the sort like that. The Dragons or Warriors of Korea, whatever. The box set that was $100 is now $10. They've got a terrain set, which is pretty cool. I picked it up for $2.99. It was a $49, basically $50 box set. It's not just D&D. It's all the intellectual properties there that Hasbro is controlling. The utter failure of the toy industry. In my opinion, the Dungeons and Dragons movie would have been a really big hit if not for the OGL debacle. That OGL failure that they put on basically made the movie fail because they literally pissed off their customer base. And then there's also the woke bullshit that D&D has been putting in there. You know, Mr. Kyle and your old white guys can't leave the hobby fast enough comment, uh, coddling to some Afro-American podcasters, and I didn't look like they were impressed. I watched the video and they were kind of like, "Who this dude, man? Who the hell was with here?" You know, they obviously thought he was an idiot. Uh, but somehow I understand he still got his bonus, and while all those people got laid off. That's always been a mystery to me, and it's not just Hasbro, but during the 2008 financial crash and all these other crashes that are. We got another one coming up, by the way. But anyway, um, the CEOs got golden parachutes. They literally can go from company to company and make a massive paycheck and trash a company and still get their bonus on the way out. It's amazing. Uh, you know. But let's go back to toy failure. Basically, all toy companies at this point in time, if you look at the toys that are out there compared to what was out there in the 70s and 80s, they have failed. I mean, if you look at the Marvel toys, the Star Wars toys, Transformers, let's hit the major problem. They're just all too expensive. I mean, I understand it's using higher technology than we had back in the day with really detailed molds and such. And I'm thinking that some wise ass CEO or executive said, let's have these toys go for the adults. Well, there's only very few adults that buy toys, that collect them. You know, so even at rock bottom prices, for instance, the D&D figures that are from the D&D cartoon from the 80s, which, hey, very nostalgic, even at a clearance price, they were $9.99. I'm like, I'm not paying that much. But let's go to what toys need to have happen. And hey, toy companies out there, get with me. I got designs in my head that just, you've lost your way on what kids want. And being that I'm a 54-year-old kid, okay, let's go. Toy action figure size. Back in the day, G.I. Joe and the Star Wars toys and all those were all 3.5 inches. I mean, not all of them, but most of the action figures were a certain size. You now have action figures that are 8-inch tall, 12-inch tall, 6-inch tall, and then you still have a few of the leftover 3.5 inch. Have a standard size for your action figures. Second of all, if you've got super high quality is fine, but if you're not selling them at all, so figure a way to lower your production costs. Kids just want toys. Second of all, come up with neat play sets. Make everything interchangeable. Um, Basically, look back at the 70s and the 80s when I was a little kid and, see what people were, why toys were so popular back then. I mean, honestly, it's not, I don't know what some of you people are thinking when I see the amount of waste out there, especially huge amount of Wakanda toys. What's the deal with that? Why did y'all produce that many toys? Was there that many people? I mean, somebody said, "Oh yeah, that movie's super great. It was okay." I mean, it wasn't the best movie in the world, but you know, then I see it's like just everything you're doing out there is a failure. Toy companies, and it's not just Hasbro. I see a bunch of other companies failing horribly too. It's time to make a change. It's time to make toys that kids want to play with. All I can say is, any of you executives out there, hire me for a few million. I will promise you I will make a toy line that it won't do what's happening here. It's like you guys have forgot what it's like to be a kid and what is cool to a kid. And you are in the toy industry. It's like, shame on you. And then while we're shaming people, Wizard of the Coast, you had a sacred duty. Let's look at it as you got the intellectual property of Dungeons and Dragons, something that, through stupidity and mismanagement in the past, something that couldn't fail failed. So now, with all your money and your talent, and you've got the game where it's more popular than it's ever been. You've let the game go to dog shit. You've let in stupidity and woke politics into the game, where the traditional gamers were out there crying, saying, "Hey, by the way, stop doing what you're doing. Stop with this stupid virtue signaling and social justice warrior BS, and just come out with games that are freaking cool." You had a chance to unify the old school and the new school and everything, but instead you took your duty, the sacred duty, if you want to call it that, and you just screwed it all up. Shame on you, Wizard of the Coast. Let's hope that possibly, that you unload Dungeons and Dragons tabletop, but you won't. But hey, to all you people that are dissatisfied with what Wizards of the Coast is doing to Dungeons and Dragons, welcome to the OSR. Come and get you some old style gaming where adventures were fun, where it was a challenge and it was cool. You didn't have to, characters were just so much simpler. They could do more with less. Anyway, guess that's all I got. Eldrad Wolfsbane, unofficial Wizard of the OSR. Make sure and like and subscribe if you could. And I'll talk to you guys later.